Okay, welcome to our hostage video.
Help.
I'm just sensing a creepy vibe in here. I'm like, she's like this.
Well, I don't know.
It's like
dark and kind of creepy in here.
It's a little dim. I like it that way. You know, someone said to me a long time ago, they're like, the spaces you occupy are representative of what's going on in your mind.
Wow.
So I don't know what this is.
Mine are very bright. Lots of windows, lots of natural light. So this is just different.
It's a different vibe. But welcome to the podcast, Laney King. Laney
Thank
King.
you.
We just got out of a meeting. We've been moving in similar circles through our work, and I think what you do is kind of awesome. So I would like to interrogate you for an hour about it. Is that okay?
An hour?
No, I'm just kidding. It'll probably go 15 minutes. Who knows what's going to go? So tell us who you are and what it is you do.
Okay, sure. I'm Laney King. I am born close to Baton Rouge. I usually say born and raised in Baton Rouge. I was actually born in Donaldsonville, Louisiana, which is a little bit south of here. Moved here when I was 8, and just a crawfish loving consumer who was driving around one day with my husband, and we asked each other, why isn't there an app for crawfish prices in Louisiana? This was back in 2013, so a long, long time ago. And Ryan said, let's create one. And
did you have any experience with app development before that?
Zero experience in app development, zero experience in app design. So no, we had no idea where to start. You know, ChatGPT didn't exist back then. So we just put our heads together. Ryan was a civil engineer at the time. I was in marketing, and I was selling ad space on mobile apps.
Cool.
So I at least understood how to generate revenue with mobile apps. So I said, Ryan, let's do it. We'll figure this out.
Gave birth to the Crawfish App.
Yes, the Crawfish App.
So give me some sense of scale. I mean, how many people are now using this? Was that a good idea, did you discover?
Yes, it was a good idea. And I knew it was a good idea from the start. The hardest part was just bringing it to life. Like, how do we get this app developed? So, we had a couple babies in between 2013. We finally launched it in 2017.
Okay.
And our goal was 20,000 users. I mean, we just thought, gosh, if we could hit 20,000 users, we would be, incredible. But we got to 60,000 in the first year. So
that
we were
was
really,
a good idea.
Yeah, we were very, very excited about that. And it was just grassroots. I mean, we were like attending all these festivals, handing out, sporting all the gear, handing out all the things, trying to get people to download the app on the spot. And then we got picked up by some local news media, and that really helped.
So just to back up and just get the full scope of this, you decided that there needed to be an app for to answer the question, where can I find live and boiled crawfish?
Correct.
In and around Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yes, really in Louisiana.
Isn't it crazy that something like that didn't exist already?
It is.
Given the amount of crawfish that is, people consume around.
It's true. And even that, I mean, we found so many problems that we could solve from a vendor perspective. I mean, they truly would write their prices on a chalkboard, every time they changed. Mm-hmm. They might put a little marker board sign out in front of their shop. They might post on their Facebook page, once a crawfish season or something. It was never very consistent. And so we also realized it would be a great way for vendors to help them grow their businesses, which has been a very rewarding part of this business. But so not only could we help users find crawfish for the best price, but we could also help small businesses grow in Louisiana. And then we could also help crawfish-related businesses who wanted to sponsor the app, help get them into the industry and really grow their business too.
So you've been doing that through the app now for what, 8, 9 years? 7,
this is our 10th year.
10th year.
10th.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I had no idea that when I married my wife, you were founding the Crawfish App. That's crazy. It's our 10-year anniversary this year as well.
Oh, great.
So you've been doing this. Okay, so you've gone through the it's a very seasonal thing. It's the crawfish industry.
Yes.
Can you kind of give maybe a person that doesn't know crawfish or live here and was raised here some sense of, what is this industry like, as far as how do prices change and why, that kind of stuff?
Sure. It is. It's very intriguing to people who are not from Louisiana or even Texas. By the way, Texas is a huge market for us. 30% of our app traffic comes from Texas. Isn't that cool? We never expected that. But yeah, if you're not from Louisiana, first of all, you think crawfish are disgusting, probably. You're like, why are you eating mud bugs?
I used to.
Yeah, speaking
They
of
look
not
like
being
mini
from Louisiana.
cockroaches. Well, that's what I thought when I first got here. But you can't argue, man. I mean, I'm probably getting into trouble for this, but I think they're a more flavorful version of shrimp.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like whatever you can do with shrimp, do with crawfish, and it just tastes a lot more flavorful.
Well, yes, I completely agree with you.
Okay, so sorry to interrupt, Karen.
So, yes, so crawfish here are everything in the spring. They are at every celebration, every, of course, at Easter, at Super Bowl, Mardi Gras, and then all the graduations, Mother's Day, Father's Day. I mean, if you just have nothing better to do on a Louisiana Saturday night, you boil crawfish. So
I'm going to take notes.
Huge part of our culture.
We do a lot of work promoting crawfish, as you know, which is how we met through the app and stuff. And so I just want to make a note here because in Mississippi, it's catfish, right? It's catfish at every gathering. And here in South Louisiana, it's crawfish.
It is.
So I'm just going to put a note there and see what happens in my brain later on.
I like it.
So yes, it's true.
Yeah. So
why do prices change so much?
The prices change because it's all dependent on supply and demand. So, if the weather cooperates and the fishermen can catch a ton of crawfish, then prices will go down. Supply is high, prices will go down. If it's freezing cold or it snows in Louisiana, that was fun last year, and the supply goes down, but people still want to eat a lot of crawfish, they're going to have to pay more for them because there's just not as many to eat. So every weekend, the price really depends on the fisherman's catch from that prior week. And for that reason, they change pretty much at least once a week. Some vendors are crazy. I mean, they change their prices every day, maybe dependent upon, what they think their demand in their store is going to be. Some people change them once a month. So you just never really know. It just kind of depends on the vendor.
Excuse me. It's a very regional economy.
Yes.
I mean, it's all over the state and it spills out into Texas and things, but really the epicenter is kind of like I was driving from Lafayette to Lake Charles.
Yeah.
And all you see either side out there is just all these crawfish lakes, ponds and things like that. So yeah, this is the center of the the industry and it is very regional and so it doesn't take much for the price to change. But the good news is that what are we in now? We're in March, April, and so we are approaching, if not already in peak season, because the weather was pretty good this year and crawfish are getting there.
I would say we are in peak season of the crawfish season. We're definitely not at the best prices though. Okay. That's typically going to be at the end of April, first week of May is when you're going to find the lowest price crawfish that you possibly can. Right now they're still a little bit higher than most people want to pay. Easter's approaching in a couple of weeks though, so we're hopeful they're going to go down. But yeah, I mean, the reason we needed an app is because people boil crawfish and a sack of crawfish is, on average about 35 pounds. So if you can find a sack of crawfish that's priced $1 a pound cheaper right down the road from you that you had no idea even existed, that's $35 you're saving on one sack of crawfish. Yep. A lot of times people boil 2, 3, 5 sacks of crawfish for their parties. And so it just helps, can help you save hundreds of dollars. But it's a big one. Back in 2013, gosh, we had, both my husband and I had just newly graduated from grad school. We were broke as jokes, had student loans, were pregnant with our first kid. I mean, we were pinching pennies. So it was like that $35, if we could save that, made a huge difference. Thankfully, now we can shop a little bit more on quality, maybe get a better sized crawfish, maybe pay a little bit more.
No, I think it's
but
great.
It's always, no matter how much, money you have or don't have, you want to save money. I mean,
Absolutely.
Everything is so expensive these days. So
Absolutely.
That's why we think it's popular.
So great ideas executed well lead to good businesses. And I use the app as well. I think everyone that I know uses your app. So congratulations on a business success. First real question would be like, I've noticed there's not like a Silicon Valley here in Southeast Louisiana. We have our tech companies and stuff, but it's nothing like Silicon Valley. So does this make you like the center of Silicon Valley in Cajun country?
Okay, that's hysterical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
let me tell you something,
like Silicon?
Stuart. I actually, in 2020, decided to open up a second business helping other people who had great ideas for mobile apps execute and bring their mobile apps to life. That's what I did. Oh yeah, I wrote a guidebook about it.
Very cool.
I opened up a business. We did that for about 3 years.
May I ask, what was the dumbest idea
I
that
was
you
going
ever
to
saw?
say that's not what this podcast is about, and I don't
Just give
want
me
to be
one.
negative, but no, I cannot.
Okay,
I cannot die if my ex-clients heard. But what I learned in those years is that people have ideas and they just want to make the mobile app and they don't really want to listen to any advice and they just think it's going to work. And so when it launches and they've spent a lot of money and it doesn't do well, they get upset with you even though you tried to tell them it wasn't going to work. So anyway, I don't do that anymore.
Okay, fair enough. You don't
It was too frustrating. But yeah, I think I did try to become like the Silicon Valley of Louisiana. That's hysterical.
Okay,
I never really thought about that.
Second real question is you mentioned that you grew up loving crawfish.
Yes.
Like, when was the first time you tried a crawfish?
Oh,
Can you remember?
No, I can't remember. I was probably like 3 or 4. I mean,
Really?
yeah.
So I didn't grow up here, so I don't have that experience.
Yeah. I mean, I have 4 kids. All of my kids started eating crawfish about 2 years old. And you don't want to give it to them if it's like too spicy. You kind of have to.
Do you remember like how you learned how to? I mean, your peeling technique must be excellent.
Amazing.
So
yes.
were you taught that at a certain time, or was that like you just bought like?
No, your parents teach you.
Really?
It's your parents' job.
Is it like riding a bike?
Because if not, you have to peel all the crawfish for your kid, which you don't want to do.
Oh, yeah.
That takes away all the fun. Plus, by the time you get to eat, they're all gone.
Parents teaching you?
No, I don't remember that. Mm-mm.
Do you remember learning how to ride a bike?
Yes, I do remember learning.
So it gives you some sense of how culturally important it is that you would remember learning to ride a bike, but you don't remember being taught how to peel crawfish, because I still fumble.
I see what you're trying to say. Yeah, I should remember, or I should at least lie and say that I remember, but no, I don't.
So let's say hypothetically, as a crawfish expert and a local, so you might see someone that's not been from around here come up to a crawfish thing. Like, are you the sort of person that goes and helps them and shows them, or do you you're on your own?
Of course, yes, I
help
them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How many crawfish boils do you go to in a typical year?
Oh gosh. How many weekends are there in crawfish season? Probably like 25.
Do you boil your own crawfish, or do you have a husband?
I learned how when we created the Crawfish App. Yes, I felt like I had to learn how to boil crawfish, or I was a poser.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd much rather him do it. He does such a better job.
Like, do you have any like pro tips on how to boil crawfish?
No,
really?
No, that's not my job. Mm-mm.
Do you want to call favorites right now? Like, when you buy crawfish, where do you go?
Ooh.
I don't mean to put you on the spot. I'm just interested in your expertise. You've been around crawfish a lot.
Okay, yeah. So 2 of my favorites in Baton Rouge are University Seafood. He's off Highland Road. And let me tell you, very consistent, always good product, large. He's one of my favorite vendors also because he makes me feel good about myself because we helped him really. He gives all the credit to the app. He's the best. He was in this like old rundown shack in the kind of rough part of Highland Road. Still kind of in a rough part, but that's okay. He now has this big, beautiful space.
Okay, cool.
And he's like, I give all this growth to the Crawfish App. But of course, it's him having a consistently good product at a good price that helped him grow. We just helped promote him. So
okay, so not from around here, but do enjoy crawfish.
Good.
I've forced myself to try and convince myself that they're as awesome as everybody else says they are around here.
Yeah.
And while I like the taste, I just think it's a lot of work. I've just like, give me like an étouffée all day long. Yes. It's one of my favorite foods.
Yes.
But the whole boil thing, one of my problems is that my wife, she's from New Orleans, Kennebra.
Okay.
She so loves crawfish that it's actually good for our relationship for me to like be like, you have them, darling.
Yes.
Right? So
that's
we
very
go
nice.
out. So that brings me to my first question. So when she eats crawfish, and she's a very put together, very pretty lady and all, I have to look away. Are you a messy eater? Or like, because it can get messy, can't it, with all like the peeling and stuff? Are you a messy eater, or do you have like good technique and you're clean? Or
It's so funny. I don't know that I've ever eaten crawfish with someone who wasn't from Louisiana because I've never heard these things come out of someone's mouth.
Awkward.
I don't know if I'm messy or clean. I don't know. I just get into it. Yeah, I'm probably messy.
Have you ever been at a boil doing the thing and then wiped your eye?
Of course.
How do you fix that?
All over my clothes.
Yeah, because it's spicy and it hurts, right? I've seen people do that as well.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just part of life, Stuart.
My part of life. It's just so not part of life. You know, Yvette, the spokesperson for Louisiana Crawfish, texted me a Gordon Ramsay video somewhere Shire in England.
Yeah.
Apparently, our crawfish have now an invasive species in the UK.
Yes.
And so his attitude, which I fully appreciated, this is an invasive species in the UK now, let's eat them.
Yes.
which I just thought was brilliant.
So he traveled there and boiled crawfish?
Well, he's from there. Gordon Ramsay's a British chef, you know,
No, not
the
really.
guy from that. So. Anyway, well, I think what you're doing is fantastic. Congratulations to you and your husband.
Thank you.
And I too love crawfish. Big fan, and I hope this season is bigger and better than ever for you guys in the Crawfish App.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.